you don't have to be abused.
That's right.
Mistreated.
Oh,
That's
I
like,
know you
they
had
can
this.
do that. They can treat on women like
I was about
that.
to believe
Y'all need me.
Man, oh, here. You can have a seat right here.
Yo, so look, I met the doctor, man.
Dr. Yates, yeah.
Did I tell you that?
No, you told me at the
At the sofa.
Yes.
Hey, I ran into him, man. Is he still doing? He's still trying to get them things going.
Oh man, that McCarthy, I brought him in as a. Should I? There we go. Should I turn so they can see the camera? Or
They're gonna walk around.
Oh, y'all going over there?
They got you.
So yeah, so you still trying to get with the police department?
Oh, we got oil squad, tennis squad, New York.
You should see this thing.
How you doing?
That thing is cold, man.
I'm Tracy.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, sis.
You should see this thing he rides around on.
What is it?
Solid trike, 3-wheel, like school and bike.
Does it have lights on it?
Oh, it's ice is all.
Man, this thing
Yeah, okay,
is
we gotta
like,
have some.
trust me, when I'm scared of it, man. It's that thing is cold, bro.
Okay, I'm gonna try to remember that I'm an attorney during this.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna try to stay. It's gonna be hard though.
Man, listen, don't worry about no law. Law don't worry about us. Right? We gonna be all right.
All right, guys, don't forget, come on down. A lot going on Saturday. The Alderman Harris has her thing going on. Back to school for kids. Maze and Todd. They are participating in the 36th annual UNCF Walk for Education. That is going down at Burnham Park. Have we figured out what Burnham Park is? Kimberly?
I know I should have
I
looked
thought
it up.
that was homework for you last night.
I should.
That's been oh, there you go.
Yeah, I should have looked it up by now.
I know. It's got to be downtown, right? It's right there where I'm thinking it's right there off the Lakeshore Drive. The Grove 7. They're going to be there. Maze and Todd. They're looking for 250 people. Hopefully 250 WVON listeners are going to be out there hanging out with them for a good cause, guys. This is about historically black colleges and universities and supporting students there. It's that simple. You can do it. Bring your shoes, your gym shoes, your bicycle.
It's just south of Grant Park.
Yeah, see there? So it's got to be, it's right there by Soldier Field. See, all of this is tied in together.
Yes.
So you can walk, run, ride, do whatever you got to do. Just bring it on, or do the three. What's that you got, Ty?
The 3-wheel?
Man.
The trike defender?
Man.
Yeah, trike, a scooter bike.
And this thing, I know you didn't come here to talk about it, but this thing is, that's a business though.
Yes, sir.
And we just did a segment talking about black-owned businesses, and this is a black-owned distributor.
Yes, also deal with the, in my lane where I'm at, and I explain that to the people later, but prevention. With a 9% or less clearance rate, the police always responded. Mm-hmm. They never prevent anything. So, we have the metal detectors as well as the scanners. And that bike, also, I want to bring that into being like a community policing thing for us to, get around the community and keep an eye on the community ultimately. That thing makes all the other ones that I've seen like that look like a punk. Yours is like the real deal. We're the only one distributed in the Midwest. Yeah. So CPD should have those, though. Oh, ain't no doubt about it. That makes them get up out them cars and be more vigilant. Yeah. Instead of going to sleep in the seat. Tyrone Muhammad in the studio with us. What's going on? I apologize for being late on this story, but you were here to talk about a nail shop scandal that's going on, or that has gone on. Yes. Fill me in on this. Well, let me just say to the people, my name is Tyrone Muhammad, Executive Director of ECCS, and that's ex-cons for community and social change. People always ask, man, why you call it ex-cons? Because the guys that I represent and the brothers that's languishing in the prisons and these juvenile justice centers and the county jails never felt like citizens even in their own community. So this political correct term of calling us returning citizens, how you return to something that you never were? So ex-cons has a double meaning for me. It's a double entendre. Ex meaning unknown, because we leave our people in those places and potential, like me, I did 2 decades in prison. you leave potential languishing in there with no recourse, no calls for reformation, and these 80 to 70 to 80% of the brothers that enter prison will ultimately return back to society. You would think society would want to figure out a way to reform those individuals that's in there while they're sitting in the most pristine time when your mind is at rest and you don't have a need for things. So ex-cons for community and social change is my way in the organization I started while in prison to be the message we bring. So in other words, I'm a firm believer that no benevolent white person, no politician, no pastor or so-called black business leaders are gonna save us, because they haven't yet. They haven't done it, and I hold them totally accountable for the conditions in our community. So we decided that we would as the guys who have perpetrated violence on our own community, disrespected our women, disrespected our children, and violated our community, we said we was gonna take personal responsibility for what our hand, we know about the conspiracy, we know about the systematic stuff, but these are things I can personally control. I can personally control how a Korean, a foreigner, Arab, Mexican, Jew, whoever in my community that will lie in our community to usurp our funds, gonna treat my women and my children. I can have personal responsibility for that, even if it costs me prison time or even if it costs me my life. See, at some point we got to stand as black men, and that's what ECCS represent, brothers who's taking a stand against injustice, brothers who's trying to, or I'm going to say are creating an atmosphere of change, and it's starting with us, and all politics is local, all aldermen, all so-called churches and pastors. We're going to hold all of them accountable and responsible and transparent to the community they say that we selected them for or elected, however you want to use it.
So what happened?
Yeah, I think it's important that we talk about what this specific
because it leads to that.
It's dealing with a nail shop called Color Nails or something like that. It is not owned. It's not an African American owned establishment.
No,
as most of these places are not. But there was a particular incident with a woman who was mistreated in this nail salon, and then you take it from there.
Well, that's a backstory. That's my third time there.
Okay.
But this incident happened at least 4 or 5 times. That it don't often go viral. The last time you check my timeline, you'll see that I came to that nail salon as a result of a brother telling me about it and seeing it live, and my man calling me about an issue. Everybody seen him on the call Tyrone. And it's like, you calling me, even elected officials, with no resources though. But that doesn't stop me.
They're calling you because you're the only person who's saying anything. You made me breathless with the things that you just said.
Yes.
Because that's not being said.
Exactly. So the backstory is, I came to the nail salon after hearing a sister being violated by this owner's son. And so this is the second or third time that this guy has violated black women or in our children that go in there to get their nails done. So I came in there, I told the owner, just like I did in the other tape, I said, listen, we're not gonna have no business in our neighborhood disrespecting our women. Not on my watch. Not on the other guy's watch, okay, y'all, but not on mine. So I said, he came out and we set up a meeting, and I told him that this is his last time. The next time I come back in this place, I'm not talking. And I'm a man of my word, I always have been. So we sat down, we had a meeting. The meeting led to him telling me that he will send 2 sisters to school to learn nails and eyebrows and eyelashes, and they were working in his shop. But my goal was really, I was trying to do something, a little different. I wanted to then take them sisters up out of there and then have them open their own shop. If he was gonna train them for free, then we was gonna take that as reparations for the disrespect, but not saying that was you wasn't going to be monitored or held accountable for what you've already done and violated. I've been on the scene of that beauty salon, that shop. This is nothing new for me. So, mind you, I come back this time after hearing about the same incident. You know, when you sit in a seat, people don't understand. When you sit in a 9x12 cell, watching your sons come to prison because there's nothing out in these streets or in society for them. And then in there, I become their big brothers there. I got over 200 sons I done left from prison. I receive over 100 to 200 phone calls from prison. I send money to all these guys. These not my children. These the men who became my brothers. So in understanding that, I said, man, I watched that, and people don't understand what we feel when we see brothers, that the only thing society have for black men is the graveyard and prison.
So when we come back, we're going to take a break here for traffic and weather. Though when we come back, I mean, I think we should know the nail shop where it is, so everybody can know who exactly we're talking about.
And are people standing with you on this?
Right.
Oh no.
And you tell me you're protesting.
Yeah, the brothers and sisters are still over there now.
Because they put their hands on it. See, we're not even talking about what they
Right,
did.
so when we come back, let's get into that. When we get Tyrone Muhammad in the studio with us, let's talk about that and a lot more. Robin's got traffic and weather coming up next show. There you go.
We got a petition.
Where is it?
That's that 83rd and Stewart, like between Stewart, that Holland, that mall over there. It's like Walmart and all of them.
Yeah.
Where are you?
Wait, you talking about where Lowe's is and all that?
Lowe's, yep, over there. With the pot bellies and the
okay.
When I had your login, I was gonna ask you that, but I came in too late. The Matt and Kim login.
Yeah, at WVON, Matt and Kim.
Right. Here,
I just want to share it on mine.
Oh,
I got
you want me
somebody.
to send it to you?
Huh?
You want me to send it to you? You don't want me to do it live?
No, you can do it live. I'm saying I want to do it on my page too.
On that
Right.
Sydney
Our
Park,
page.
they waiting on the budget stuff. And they getting them like 10 to 10.
For now, actually, what I'll do is I'll just post the video on y'all's page, and then after this, I'll get
And
the
then Eddie Johnson rolled back.
You rolled yours?
He like, man, it's
Oh,
nothing, but here we go.
Thank you.
When it comes to funding to increase or better patrol our communities, man, we don't
Them things are
move.
cool, dude.
Yeah.
Them things, man. They better than them little Petway things.
Oh, them things ain't made for the shit. You think that thing's going 35.
It's gonna go right.
30 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And then the ones the police, we selling them on 40 something miles an hour. Those are interceptors. So they go that fast.
Is that right?
Man.
What's your boy's name? Dr. Sam?
Yates, William Yates, Bill Yates. Yates Enterprise.
Tyrone, I want you to get him on the show. Bring him here so we can talk about that whole.
Oh, we can bring it up.
In fact, because Michelle was just here talking about the whole certification thing with the city, so that you can do business with the city.
Well, we've been trying to do that. We've been working and fighting. It's amazing that even as an MDE, you have to work and fight with most black officials in the city to even get contracts. That makes no sense.
Man, trust me,
That's why I say
my boy's construction company, man. I am like surprised how long it's taken us to get some work, and that it has taken us, man. Some work we got, some work we got.
yeah, that's
a whole another show right there, brother. Oh, Beto O'Rourke, Pete Buttigieg. That's what we were forgetting about.
Buttigieg, huh?
Yeah, 2 women, Klobuchar and Kamala. And the other was Tulsi.
And Andrew Yang is still in there.
He's in there.
He's still in.
What do you mean?
So it's shut down right now.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't.
Oh, it is closed
And
down.
at some point, didn't they take the guy off in handcuffs for something?
Yeah, his uncle, we had him arrested.
For the Matt and Kim show.
We made the police do their job.
Yeah.
Because that was an assault. If
And
you
what
gonna lock
happened
me up
after
for criminal damage to
What
property,
happened after that?
and then well, he's no more there. We've been protesting.
I don't know.
We're gonna have to tell people. Tell them exactly what happened.
Yeah. I need to know. And a petition for that too. Petition too. It's a sign everything.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Traveling on the Nehemiah, heavy traffic outbound 47 to the start.
What happened to my
Did you?
push a T?
I was going to.
What song you want? I'm gonna go
When
to.
you know, y'all know nothing about no
We
push
don't.
a
Let's
T.
see.
Oh, Pusha T, yeah.
Which
I
one?
don't know.
When you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
Y'all don't know.
I know that. Was that on his? No.
That's his new one.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Was
Oh, that's his new one.
Yeah.
Oh, he too good.
Fast House is
He
right
too
next to
good.
the
You don't
Reed.
That's
know.
right.
Y'all don't
Too-
know.
Now I was
If you
listening
know,
to
you
Pusha
know.
T like back in the day. But
Right.
I listen to his new
I'm
stuff.
gonna ask if she put that on.
Pulling
He's
up
not
in
even that
new
old,
Truck,
first of all.
the
That's
bricks
new now, huh?
on the boy rock stop like Pink Floyd, waving at you, boy. Y'all ain't ready.
If you know, you know. Yeah.
Man, see, y'all got to get up on what Lil Fold and them talking about. Y'all
Yeah.
tripping.
Yeah, Pusha T.
That's my man.
He's talented for sure.
Him and right now, Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah. I don't know, when is he coming out with more music
He should
though?
be coming. You know,
Oh, you got the inside.
When you professional, you in the lab.
Yeah.
That's all they do though,
You
man.
got to be in the lab.
That's all
you
they
know.
do though, man. Them
Quality
cats-
music.
All they do is live in the studio.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
Producers, that's all they do.
Even if they don't release anything.
You know, they just be in there, man. But they always working on some music, even if, like you said, if they don't release it. They got
Yeah, you know, I would see like a next album where they have like 25 songs in there. I'm like, what was this?
Yeah.
Those be
Oh,
standing there
you
late
got
at
it.
night too.
You know. Look at that beat. Y'all just hear that bass line and that.
I
you
like
see
this
that?
song.
Just think of eyes and just think of vibes. Turn the gear.
You know, coming up at 5 o'clock, Eddie Reed is going to join us. We're going to talk about Lou Palmer and the anniversary of us losing Lou Palmer. You know how close Eddie was to Lou Palmer. And you know what Lou Palmer meant to Chicago. You know what he meant to WVON. The activism work and awareness that Lou brought to this community and on this radio station is very, very important. So we will reflect back on Lou Palmer coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. I was at 5:30, Kimberly.
Yeah.
Something you and I were talking about yesterday. We were getting into this conversation about Tyrone Hall and Serena Williams. And I asked the question, is it different when black females marry up with a white partner, as we've seen Serena and apparently Tyrone Hall has done, among others? Do we judge them differently than we judge black men who marry white women? Like how we judge Tiger Woods. And
And the circumstances different.
yeah, right, and some of the other brothers that have married white women. So we'll talk about that at 5:30, maybe a little early. We might talk about it at 5:20 if we get a chance to. Right now, we got the phone lines open at 312-374-8130. Tyrone Muhammad in the studio with us, talking about this particular nail shop. Tyrone, you kind of laid the backdrop to it, so I think we should just get more specific about it. Where's the nail shop, the name of it, and tell our listeners what happened, though. What actually happened?
Colored nail. It was several incidents that happened. This particular one, what sent me over the edge was the fact. Let me say this, women. I love y'all. I fight for y'all. This is why I do it. But I want you to understand, and moving forward, we got greater fight than eyelashes, eyebrows, and fingernails. We have a greater fight than that because I just did 2 decades of prison. When I have to come out here and then put my life on the line for something as, I don't want to say unimportant, or superficial as nails, eyebrows, and eyelashes. So that's a great sacrifice. That's really not worth the sacrifice, but it's the disrespect of black women that. Cause I get that, man. Why they still going in there, brother? He did this, and y'all still going in the shop. This brother could lose his life because of my going back to prison. Ain't the same as a person, or me catching a case ain't the same as an average individual catching a case. It actually can enhance my sentences just based on
my rap sheet. So I'm just saying to you that this is serious for me, and we're serious brothers out here in this struggle. So what happened was, what took me over the edge was him detaining, not allowing a 14-year-old girl to go out the door because he had an issue with, I guess that was auntie who he put out. That was the one he got into the confrontation with, and it just blew up. And the girl was trying to get her, the one who was doing the recording, she was dedicated her nails redone or eyelashes redone because they didn't do them properly. And that led into him now trying to take her camera and say, she said, hold on, you're not taking my camera. I can film the police. I can surely film you. And at this point, he had already put the lady he had the conversation with out. And her niece was still in there. He wouldn't even let her go. It was pretty much a situation free to do. I'm gonna just keep it real with y'all, and I hope y'all forgive me, but I got to be me. As a father, an uncle, a grandfather, a brother, to even see that's even a issue. When I heard about that and I seen it, and I know what I told them, when I come back here, I'm not playing. And truth, that's not my daughter. But I was coming back to choke him out. And I'm telling you now. Y'all said it first here if y'all haven't heard it. I was coming to choke him out, and then I was going to bust the windows. But he wasn't there. Because at some point, man, we got to stop playing games. We got to stop acting like this is not a war against our community. Anytime you control the economics of a people, you control the people. Economics is war. It's warfare. And as long as you think we're going to give you our money and you're going to disrespect and demean us, not on my watch.
So what's the status now of the shop?
Well, I've actually personally talked to corporate myself and told them it's unacceptable for them to be there. It's unacceptable for them to be there. And the brothers and sisters are still out there demonstrating as they should. And
I did see them out there. I was wondering what that was. Because they're right on the driveway that goes over toward where the bank is.
Yes.
There's a Chase Bank over there, right?
Yes.
And they're right there on where that driveway that goes over there. I know where you're talking about. So I was wondering who they were
prep the people so that the people that don't know. The only reason my lawyer, my attorney, advised me to stay away. And listen, I don't want to stay away. My attorney advised me to stay away from over there because I'm trespassing at this point. In the case, if I go, it violates my bond.
Right, because
well, stay away.
The incident happened. Yes. And all they have to do is say they feel threatened by my presence. And the police come on the scene. I'm going back to jail.
But at this point, there should be enough people who understand this that you shouldn't have to be anywhere within the vicinity.
Exactly. Listen.
So why are we taking this? Why are we not taking this seriously? Why does it have to get to the point where shop owners can put their hands on black women and just feel free to do it? Detain black, basically you kidnapping someone, restraining them. Feel free to do it. What is wrong with our consciousness that this is all right? Well, listen. We talking about 400 to 500 years of systematic brainwashing that hasn't changed because although we off the plantation, we still practice maneuvers of slavery. We still practice a level of isolation. Our communities are isolated all throughout the country, not just Chicago. See, we have lost the knowledge of ourselves. And it's clear. My teacher, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, teaches that, and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teach that a nation can rise no higher than its woman. See, people kind of say, why do you get that spirit about protecting and honoring a black woman? See, it starts, that's a consciousness that you have to develop. And it's like the woman is the first teacher and trainer of the child. If you don't protect that, what do you protect? And the minister also said, when you teach a woman, you teach a nation. When you teach a man, you teach an individual.
All right, 312-374-8130. That's Brother Tyrone Muhammad in studio with us. We got some phone calls, Brother Hall, Tracy, Jesse Will. Hold on, we'll get to them when we come back. Robin's got news coming up next. No, I saw him out there. I was going to the bank the other day, man. I was wondering. I was like, what are they protesting, man? I couldn't figure it out because they were over here. They're on the other side of the parking lot. So they kind of.
But no
But
one
they must
ever
have to
says-
stay over there though. They must have to stay that distance though.
No one ever
you
says.
They gotta stay that distance.
Some people walk up there that
It
don't
does-
have an issue, but
People don't. No one ever says, "Yeah, it's not my daughter, it's not my granddaughter, it's not whatever," but it's not gonna happen.
exactly. See, I know every daughter is my daughter. Every woman, listen, man. When you really become a real black man in this world, every
Hold
woman.
that for when you come back on, because see, you
Hold
gotta
that
say
in.
that on there. Yeah, I gotta stop you. We always miss all the good stuff talking offline.
There was a video out of them remember when they suspected that girl shoplifting?
And it was beating her up
Right.
for the
See, that's the
eyelashes.
problem, though.
That was somewhere else. That went
that
to
was
Chicago.
Yeah, Philly or something. I don't remember, but
North Carolina.
ah,
There's a lot of tension out there, y'all.
oh, good.
Uh-oh.
Federal oversight is coming to Chicago public schools. Thank you, Jesus. They need all the oversight they can get.
But the school need a whole bunch of help. Partly because they have, our people have isolated the people that can help those schools more than any from even entering them. They have made it so that guys like myself who have influences over the kids the children that they can't reach, I can't even go in and say, because of your background.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
It's right there.
What's the call?
But then they call me
No,
when they
no,
need
no.
assistance.
When it gets too hot.
Hey,
Is
Matt,
that it right
that's the
there?
call-in
312-374.
374.
Yeah, A130. When it gets too hot, then they want you to come in.
Yeah, that's what they do. Use.
The victim was shot August 21st as she was driving her children near Sibley and Chicago roads. She died Labor Day. Over 250 Cook County judges vote today on who will be the chief judge of the county going forward.
Somebody said,
Oh, wow.
why have I turned into a bully? You better be glad.
Bully.
That's
somebody say
that's an elderly black woman. See the mindset? That's why our community is the way they are. Just keeping it real. These elders have made us to a point where we docile, we weak,
And that's
we
it.
feminized brothers.
Remember all of that. Remember all of
All of
that.
that.
Don't
So let's say that
get ahead of
energy.
yourself.
Keep
I'm
that
telling you,
same
keep
energy.
it on there.
Keep that same energy.
We always say stuff over here.
Yeah, you know that.
Conversation
That's the
continues
best, but
off the
they
air.
most definitely hear me on the lives. No, brothers, hands tight in the room.
That's the look now, right? With the skinny, the straight leg, whatever it is.
It's just that people create fashion and style for us, and we don't. Somebody said, he said, when you become a real man, I felt, and then I got to tell you the rest.
Yo, and family, this is Sheila Jones, director of the
So
Chicago.
Eddie coming on at 5, so we're talking about Luke.
Join our exciting season of concerts and cultural explorations, part of which will be our national Black History Month tribute to the one and
Somebody said not all elders.
For tickets and to join
Yeah,
the
they
CSO
see, it's
African
never all
American
in.
Network, call 312-294.
What is it, closed down? Is the shop
Well,
closed down?
not yet. I mean, they've been in there. Hopefully, it'll be done soon. But they out of there anyway. That's not gonna. It's over with.
They protesting, they gonna.
It's over with. And we don't. I'm going to Borkin's house next. Is it
Howard.
Brookins? Howard
Oh,
Brookins.
Howard.
Now you just made them take that sign down.
Oh, she talking about Nisha.
Yeah.
They next. went by and saw him. Shut
What
it. That's
Misha?
over there on 847th and right off of Misha's, it's up on 47th Street and between.
What's no nail shop?
It's a beauty supply store that has disrespected black
Oh,
men.
you talking about, yeah. I know you're talking
Kevin
about.
Ruff been
Right.
really
I
a
know you're
great
talking
advocate
about.
for that.
Was it 47 or 40? You know, it's 47.
47.
It is 47. Yeah.
I don't know between what.
They're owners of the company that
Like
had something
Prairie,
to
isn't
do
It's
with
not
the North Carolina incident she was talking about.
Right. It's Prairie, though, right?
Yeah, it's
Around Prairie over there?
somewhere in
Prairie,
across the street from a black restaurant.
Matt Critter said, "What's up,
What? Who did Critter?
Critter?"
What's up, Critter? Yeah, that place over there, man, was out of control on 47, bro. Yeah, it was out of control.
Do you know Marsha Blair?
Marsha Blair.
She said that her daughter went to school with Mia.
Really?
And she knows you.
Marsha?
Marcia.
Okay.
And her daughter's name is. We got to mess with
What, she went to Longwood or she went to college?
Longwood.
It was Longwood.
She's like, say hi to Matt.
Oh.
He not gonna know who you're talking about. But I was like, no, man, that's a good. I might be saying, hold on a second.
It's got a reunion coming up too, man.
Where did she go to college?
Stillman.
I believe it was.
In Alabama.
I'm
Down
pretty
Tuscaloosa.
sure. I'm pretty sure it was here.
Oh, okay.
Do you know her?
I think I do.
Says her daughter is real close with Mia.
What's it, Marsha?
Yeah. Robinson Blair.
All right, so we got some phone calls going, Tyrone and Kimberly. Let's go to, let's start with line 1 and go to Brother Hall. He's been holding on for a minute. Brother Hall,
Hey, Brother
welcome to WVON. Brother Hall, you there?
There?
It's always the phone call game we play here at WVON. Let's go to line 2 and Tracy. Tracy, welcome to WVON. Are you there? Alrighty, we'll go to line 3 then. Let's go to line 3 and Jesse. Welcome to WVON.
Uh-oh.
All right, wait, we might be doing something wrong.
Get to my point.
All right, we'll go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, but before we left, I was just saying becoming a real man and what that looks like in totality. As you stated, that's not your sister, that's not your daughter. See, a man, when he become a man and he's doing what he's supposed to do, my teacher said every woman should desire him as their husband. And every child should see that man as their father. When you get to that level, that brings back community. That means that although this is not my child in this house, I represent this house and I represent this community. So the same rules and laws apply to that house in terms of those childs in our peaceful existence as it does in my house. So quite naturally, if a man disrespects your wife, you want to take action against that, especially if it's our dollars who keep them individuals in play. And this is the thing I don't get more than anything. What type of man are we, man? That we allow people to set up in our communities. One liquor store, the man told me he building 5. I said, not on my dead body.
Yes.
Take $300,000 a month out of the community that's given or were given license by our aldermen to create blight in our community and despair. See, I'm not more focused on that businessman
as I am on that alderman who we select or elect to take care of the needs and services of the people. It has to have some type of social community benefit. If you set up a store, any business that I set up with the community involvement, in my mind, the community should receive anywhere between 10 to 30% of the proceeds that goes back into the, shall I say, the transformation of the community that it serves. Because the community enriches you and your family, and you don't even live in this community. So I'm thinking that if a community don't put back into, if a store don't put back into the community the same or a percentage of what that community gives to it to survive, then that store shouldn't be in our community.
You know, when you walk into a business, whether it's black owned or not, and since we're talking about non-black owned businesses, you know, we've got them all over the south and west sides of Chicago, right? You know the ones just by how the people in the neighborhood, you know, when they go in, you can just tell the businesses that respect people in the community, right? They got a rapport with people. People know the owners by their name. The owners know the people by their name. They know, damn, they know their kids. You know, you got certain stores that aren't black owned, but we got, you know, you got a relationship with them. They've been in there for a while. You know, they're invested in the community. And then you have some, like you talking about this nail shop and others, where there's just tension, man. As soon as people walk in the door, as soon as they walk into the door, there's just like tension between, you know, people from the community.
If they have a relationship with us, I'm not concerned with the relationship they have. I'm concerned with the war we in. If you have, see, there's always seemed to be a prison bed for our sons, but there's no economic opportunity for our sons. So we allow individuals outside of our community, like I tell them, you're not going to allow me as a black man to set up shop in Chinatown and survive.
Not going to happen.
You're not going to allow me to set up shop in Arabville and survive.
Not gonna
Greek town, Jew town, no town. Italian told me, a great man told me that black peoples are ignorant. Ain't no way in the world we will allow, as an Italian people, black folks, Mexicans, Arabs, or anybody that don't look like us in our community to take our wealth and support them even after they call our wives bees and hoes.
Yeah, you should have been in this last segment because we were just talking about black-owned businesses.
But they have covenants with each other not to. They'll let the business stay empty.
But guess what they always say when I roll in on them about the disrespect and about talking about community benefit that this store gives to the community. Guess what they say? We took care of the alderman. I said, well, you can't buy me. I don't have nothing to do with what I'm asking you while my little homies are getting killed and shot, chasing crumbs when this one store right here can feed every little homie on the block.
But you said when you first walked in, you said, you know, why, you know, look, here we are, September 12th, 2019. And you said when you first walked in, Tyrone, hey, look, these people we've been relying on to help us haven't done it this far. What makes us think it's going to happen now? We got to rely on ourselves.
That's right.
We've got to rely on ourselves. And another quick point I want to make though, piggybacking on, you know, you know, feeling, hey, look, you're responsible for, and we are as black men, we're responsible for our black women in our community. We're not going to let anybody, should not let anybody outside of our community disrespect our women, period. That is not up for debate, right? However, at the same time, what we have to do is recognize how we talk to our black women and how we treat our black. Because see, somebody from outside of our community, if they see you talking to your women that way, then they gonna think they can disrespect you.
I've actually heard someone say that. I'm sitting here talking to the owner about how he treat our women, and then he said, well, the women, his son said the women should do that. And then J. Maul said, yeah, you're right, the women do teach. First of all, I'm not siding with nobody outside of my community to focus on the ignorance of what our women, out of a lack of knowledge and understanding of self,
has done, because systematically they haven't done it to themselves. We have broken homes. We have a broken school system. Schools are only great at preparing our sons for prison. I'm telling you, them pipelines to prisons are real. And it automatically structured them children to get them prepared for that. And when you try to tell these so-called educators and smart people, they don't get it. They really don't get it.
So we got to do it. Now, I'm with you on that, man. Black man, we got, Eddie Reed is funny because Eddie Reed, who's coming up at 5 o'clock, said this years ago on the show. He said it on the morning show. And he said, we were talking about all this crime that's going on in our community and where the black man, and Eddie Reed said, you know what, black men just need to do one thing, that's every morning, once in the morning, once in the afternoon, you just come out and stand up in front of your house, your apartment building, wherever you leave. Just let these young fellas see presence.
You gotta do something.
Just let them see, because if they don't see black men, if they don't see you there, like whether it's you doing what you doing, going up in the stores, but on the block, they have got to see black. They don't see black men there, then they have nobody to model themselves how to respect black women. You know what I'm saying? Hold that there. We're going to try these phone lines one more time when we come back. Tyrone Muhammad in the studio, 447, traffic and weather coming up next.
Yeah.
Eddie said that years ago, man. We just got to walk out the house. Let the brothers know you here. These young brothers know you here.
School year is finally here, and what better way to kick it off than by supporting students at historically black colleges? The United
Now's the time, man. We just
Negro
missed the segment. We were talking about black-owned businesses, man.
We don't do it, bro. Ain't no way in the world we're gonna have $1 trillion spending power when we ain't got 10 billionaires.
That's what
it makes no sense. So if we don't have
we got to get back to spending money for black-owned businesses. That's what Ted and Michelle Harris were talking about.
Everybody is
Oh, you're doing something on that. Make sure you accept my friend.
Oh, yes, you get you yep, I got it. Something going on here. I got you saved.
So lace up for the UNCF Walk for Education on Saturday, September 14th, Burnham Park, Grove 7. Register now.
I wonder if Latier is not doing something with the phone calls. There's all 3 of them calls.
Yeah, and if you don't figure it out quick.
And Titus is going. Is Titus going?
I think he's been gone.
Where's Jared? Jared didn't come in today?
No.
What's up, world? This is Maze Jackson, and
Oh,
this
Jared
week's
ain't.
episode of Uncomfortable Conversations with Joe Walsh and myself is out and available now. Go to WVON.com or uncomfortable-conversations.com and subscribe. That's right. Choose your favorite podcast player, Google Play, iTunes, or Spotify, and have it delivered directly to your inbox. Check it out. It's Uncomfortable-Conversations with Maze Jackson and Joe Walsh.
Joe Walsh gonna have to stop doing that show.
What's wrong?
He said he running for president.
But if it's a podcast, I mean, that's not really on the
He's
airwaves.
running for president.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
Is black man?
No.
Joe Walsh.
Crazy.
Oh,
I know we on live, but he crazy.
yeah, I know.
He is.
No, I know what you're talking about now. I'm thinking you talking about somebody on this one of these. I'm like,
He hustling though. He trying to hustle his money.
they need to
He
be
trying to hustle his money. That's the reason why he
Girl, bang on that one.
You gonna see how much.
I'm like, girl, what are you?
He trying to see how much money he can raise.
the glass.
Chat Daddy Sims.
We're not being petty. We're just really trying to help everybody. DJ Papa's Murph is here with us tonight. You love the segment so far, huh?
The pettiest show in America.
The pettiest show in America. That's all right.
Only on the top of Chicago, 1690 WVON. This traffic report is brought to you by Circle K. You know what today is?
MTV need to bring Real World back.
Price for gas.
Oh my gosh, wow.
Real World. That's what I think so. It's about time, right? It's been a minute. See a whole new, different generation of people, though. You see what I'm saying?
I wouldn't watch it, but I feel like it's needed.
Right? I think it's a whole new generation now, right?
Traveling on the Rhine, you're about half an hour down
That first year it was off the chain. That very first year they did it was off the chain.
From Chinatown Pier to Pulaski, that's 52 minutes Lakeshore Drive to the Tri-State, 30 minutes on the inbound side. The Ike is over 40 now, close enough to Manheim, 35 minutes from Manheim. Take 52 minutes on the outbound side of Kennedy, gets to the airport. Stop and go traffic for interchange to Harlow, express lanes to Ohio to Montrose. And on the inbound side from Gilbert.
You know what kills me when I listen to people in their comments online? They always talking about why not this, why not this, why not that, and they won't even show up for nothing. They won't stand for nothing. They won't demonstrate with nothing. They won't support nothing. But yet they always got to comment about something.
I mean,
that's what
in
I
a
know.
situation like that with the nail shop, you gotta go walk into the shop and confront old boy. That's the only. I mean, and when I say confront, it don't mean your first thing is violent. You just gotta go in and you know, because if you don't, then he gonna think he can get away with doing it, you know. And then the protest and the boycott, and sometimes the only thing these cats know is money. They don't understand our pocket. Then that's.
Somebody said they went to Home Depot and bought 12 bricks.
All right, 452. Let's try these phone calls one more time. Let's see if we can get a call or two in for Tyrone. Let's go to line 1 and see if Caroline is there. Caroline, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Hey. All right, we got her. Good afternoon and welcome to WVON.
Hey, hello to Matt and Kim and definitely Tyrone.
Yeah, how you doing?
Caroline, also known as Karma. Tyrone, you made a line where you clearly sat down with Tony and you denied all of his money that he offered you. Clearly a lie.
Yeah.
So why is it that the so-called leaders that's quote running the ship are stating every day that you're a sellout with no proof, no anything? It's like a form of defamation of character to me.
Man, you know what I've learned about dealing with it, because that's one reason why I didn't even respond. It's like when you have young guys that I'm out here in these streets for real, my organization, I need to preface it this way to bring about what I'm about to say. I'm out here in these streets for real saving young brothers, and I got a whole bunch of young brothers that look up at me as a big homie. And when they hear the stuff and what individuals saying, and then I got to still turn around and tell them shorty, no, you're not finna go up there and shoot nobody. You're not finna go up there and cause nothing. Fall back, I got this is nothing. See, jealous and envy is the mother of murder. That creates that. It's like them guys out there now, great brothers, ain't in my lane. They ain't in the level, they ain't on the level that I'm on. I've been doing national stuff. I've been getting messages and receiving invites to come set up ECCS, Atlanta, New York, DC, Australia, Denmark, and Canada to do that, because around the world they love freedom fighters. Something about Chicago has happened to us where we will march and talk. We would do all of these things, and I'm starting to believe that when the government snatched these brothers, these leaders, so-called gang leaders and chiefs off the streets, and left these young nomads to run wild with no guidance, we lost a whole bunch of respect. And as it relates to them, sister, you're right. On live, I'm telling them, ain't no compromise. I'm checking them. It got to go. He's throwing up his hand saying, it's over, Tyrone. It's over. So Jay, that GoFundMe thing, it's like money when people start seeing people supporting you and donating and giving you love that they feel they should have. Throw a brick then. Go throw a brick then if you want the same respect that I got. Because a person that do ain't the same as a person that talk.
But it's also, I think, one of the other reasons why is because in Chicago, we're so not used to people not taking money.
Right, but see, this is the thing. If I say you took something, I can't slander you like that without no proof.
But you're hitting on something else too, though. When you talk about black people in Chicago, man, we got an interesting group of black people here, man. I don't know. We've talked about this before, man. You go to New York, you go to some other cities, and see a little more cohesiveness. You know, brothers on the same page trying to work with each other. I don't know, man. Chicago, Obedelli and I've talked about this before,
Let me
man.
say this real quick. My organization, in collaboration with other groups and organizations, we probably have stopped 50 to 100 murders within the last 2 years, man. Mm-hmm. We probably have, I personally put over 100 guys off the corners to work. With no resources, bro. With no resources, finding resources, doing things. I've been offered hundreds of thousands from construction companies not to show up on their sites. I haven't taken a dime. If they did, believe me, I'd be in the Fed joint for the way I'm working. Right. These people make assertions and allegations with no facts, no proof. You talking about took $10,000. Let me tell you what happened, people, and I need y'all to understand this that's listening. If Tony, the owner with Carolyn, would have offered me money, I'd have took the money and still shut them down. Now, punk, take it. Now, don't offer me nothing. I'm just telling you, I'm not the type of person that have to hide behind nothing I do. I waited for the police, didn't I?
Let's go to Will on line 4. Will, welcome to WVON.
Good afternoon, Matt.
Hey, Will.
Hello.
And to the VON family. Matt, you've been at VON the longest of that. How long have I been saying that we need psychiatry?
Yeah, you've been for a long time.
For real.
Years. And due to the damage that was done to us mentally during our enslavement period and the attack on our psychology and our psyche now, they haven't let up. They have not stopped. They have just moved it around to another spot. So my brother, to you there, they closed down one out here on 103rd and somewhere right there on Cottage Road.
Yeah.
They closed down one of those ancient places for abusing a black woman. And I hope that this will get put out of business.
Oh, it's going.
All right, so we only got about 30 seconds left, Tyrone. What is the status? Yeah.
The status is that we pushing on. We're gonna close it down. We're gonna most definitely close it down. And they're constantly putting up windows and stuff. You have to repair it, I guess. But we're gonna keep moving, and we're gonna do this all throughout the city, and it's gonna happen all throughout the country. So
give out your contact information.
Tyrone Muhammad, ex-cons for community and social change. You can go to our website. That's www.ECCSE.info. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, and our ECCSE Facebook page as well.
All right, there you have it, man. Good work, brother, as always, man. And we're going to have to follow up on this. Now I know where it's located because, man, I was going to the bank over there. I saw him out there. Now I know what the deal is.
That's what it is. Now we shut the bank down so we can get some loans.
I know, that's right. Please, let's get a rehab loan. That's what I need. 459. When we come back, talking about our community, Eddie Reed is going to help us remember Lou Palmer, a giant in our community, and right here on WVON. As we remember the life and times of Lou Palmer. But first, we've got WVON News coming up next.